Welcome to Graduate Spotlights, a presentation of College Success Arizona. This program features the hardworking college graduates who have earned scholarships from College Success Arizona and are now in the workforce or continuing with their education. Today on Graduate Spotlight, we interview Vanessa Hernandez.
I was born in Phoenix, Arizona, and also raised in Phoenix, Arizona.
And where did you graduate from high school?
I graduated from Carl Hayden High School in Phoenix in 2008.
And how old are you currently?
28.
And what is your job currently?
University admissions counselor at Grand Canyon University.
And you graduated from college, we talked a little bit before the interview, in 2012?
Yeah.
And where did you graduate from?
I graduated from Arizona State University in 2012, and then I graduated from Grand Canyon University in 2016 with my master's degree.
And your undergraduate degree, what is that in?
I have two. I have a bachelor's of science in political science and a bachelor's of science in justice studies and a certificate in human rights, all from Arizona State. And then I have a master in business administration from Grand Canyon University.
You have your MBA?
Yeah, I did. I finished it just under 2 years ago.
Congratulations.
Thanks.
Was that a hard thing to get your MBA? I've heard that can be kind of difficult.
Oh my gosh, it was so hard. It was definitely harder than I thought it was going to be, and I was working full-time at the time while taking night school, so it was definitely something that I wasn't ready for, but overall, I finished it in the time that it's supposed to take, so I guess it's all that counts, right?
And people say, oh, I have my MBA, but they can be in so many different occupations. What exactly does an MBA do for you? What does it help you do in terms of your career?
For me, in terms of my career, master's degrees are really sought after when you're in higher education, especially at the university level. So it's kind of, an unwritten requirement, but at the same time, I feel that it really helps in my position because it's really heavily finance-oriented, so I'm able to explain finance a lot better and help families and students figure out what their plan is going to be like to finance their education. So that's really helped so far in my career.
So you're an admissions counselor at Grand Canyon University. Do you enjoy your work?
Yeah, I really do. I love it there. Really flexible position. I get to help high school students who may not necessarily have a lot of support or knowledge on higher education, figure out what they want to do, what's going to be a good path for them. Even if they don't go to GCU, I can still help them along the way, figure out, what direction to point them in and stuff like that, help them figure out their financial aid and course schedules and all that stuff. So it's really a rewarding position.
You've spent a lot of time so far in your adult life in college with your undergrad degrees, then your MBA. Is it also a thing where you're just very comfortable working in the college, the collegiate academic environment?
Yeah, I want to say I have kind of done some internships for the Arizona prison system, and I also did a couple of internships for the Chamber of Commerce. So I got my feet wet in other fields, but ultimately I really enjoyed the higher education field, so that's always where I've stayed and I felt really comfortable being in.
And do you see yourself remaining in that current position for the next few years, or do you have other career aspirations in mind?
I think I do want to stay in the same sector, but I don't know if I want to stay in the same exact position. So I think ultimately I see myself moving up either in an admissions manager position or even something a little bit different than that.
In Grand Canyon University, it seems like it's always growing. Is it growing a lot?
Yeah, the growth is insane. It's went from a few hundred students 10 years ago to now being 18,000 students just this year. So it's grown a lot.
And let's talk about College Success Arizona. You earned the full scholarship with the mentorship, and was it $6,000 per year?
Yeah. Back then it was the Arizona College Scholarship Foundation. So the titles changed. I think it changed probably when I was senior in college. The scholarship itself was really helpful because it covered nearly the entire cost of tuition at Arizona State. So it was really affordable for me to attend college. I did get to live out of my parents' house, so I got to stay. I didn't stay on campus, but I stayed off campus near ASU because that's just what I chose at the time. That was really helpful. And then the mentoring, definitely super helpful. Always held accountable for my grades and, always being encouraged to do different internships and stuff like that. So that was really nice to have.
And can I ask who your mentor was?
I don't remember her name. I think I had a couple of them. I do remember Judy. I don't think she's with the organization anymore, but there was another one. She was there for a short time after Judy had left.
And I guess now that you're...
Hudson, I think.
Oh, that's fine. Now that you're in the working world and you also spent a good amount of time in college, and I talked to, I've done probably 150 of these stories, and I talked to a lot of active college students, and there's a certain amount of, joy, and they're looking forward to the workforce. And then everybody knows after you've been in the workforce for a few years, life is a struggle. How does the reality kind of line up with what your expectations were when you were in college?
Yeah, at first I was kind of like, oh my God, what's going on? What is my life? You would do 8 to 5, then you'd go to the gym, come home, watch TV, start it all over again the next day. And it kind of is a shock, especially when you're in college and your job is to be a student, and you may have a part-time job in between here and there, but I think it does take some adjusting to realize that the 8 to 5 job schedule is not the end of the world. You just need to find hobbies to fill in your time. Maybe not always make your career be your joy, and definitely find joy in other areas of your life. They say don't make your hobby your job. So I would definitely say find hobbies, find joy other places. Although it's important to have a rewarding career, it's not meant to be your end all be all.
And do you have some advice for high school and middle school students who may be considering their own college journey?
Yeah, I would say if you get a C or a D, it's not the end of the world. Don't quit. I think a lot of people, once I personally got a D my first semester in high school, and I was freaked out. I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm never going to get into college now. This is a life ruiner. What did I do? I didn't mean to do this. And I thought it was going to be the end of the world. But as I moved on, especially throughout high school, I realized, okay, I just got to fix it. I got to change whatever I'm doing and make up for that. So I kind of persevered through that. And even in college, I completely turned it around. I graduated summa cum laude, which is insane considering that my GPA from high school was really not the best. It wasn't terrible, but it definitely wasn't the best. But I would just say keep pushing through and just look forward to the light at the end of the tunnel, because it's definitely there, to just not give up and keep persevering, move forward.
And you have your master's degree. Is that it for ongoing education for you post-secondary, or I guess postgraduate work, or would you maybe go and get a doctorate at some point?
I think it just depends on what my next position may be at GCU. It just kind of depends on where you're working within the organization. There's some positions that would prefer that I do have a doctorate, whether it be a DBA or even just a doctorate, and some of them do prefer. And I've heard from really high up in the organization at GCU that they want us to go forward and get our doctorate degrees, especially if we're going to be giving back to the organization and we're going to be moving up. It's nice to have, although it's not a requirement. I could see myself maybe in the future, but we'll see.
And was your family a big influence and encouragement upon your college education?
Yeah, definitely. I think my family always knew that I was going to, be really successful and get more degrees and more degrees. My mom always asks me, what degree do you have again? How high is your degree? Oh, do you have that degree yet? And it's always really funny. But, my parents they barely graduated high school. So for them, they don't have a concept of the amount of work that goes into a master's degree or a doctorate degree. But they've always been so encouraging and have always, pushed me to go further. So it's always been really helpful to have their support.
Because you are or were or are a first-generation student, was having the mentor through College Success Arizona, was that helpful? Because obviously you didn't have it with your parents, anybody who could really give you the insight of what college is about.
Yeah, I didn't have the, relation with them so that way they knew what I was going through, but I did have a lot of support, not only with the scholarship organization, but there's just been a lot of people in my life, aside from just family, that have helped encourage me to move on and to continue to get my education and things like that. So it's been nice. Teachers at Hayden and professors and mentors along the way, family, friends, things like that have always been very supportive.
Did you always want to work in education?
At first, no. I did not see myself going down that route, but I think that there's a lot of expectation, especially when you come from a family who's not entirely aware of what higher education entails. Not everybody can be a doctor, not everybody can be a lawyer. If it were, everybody would be lawyers and doctors. So I think at first I had some really unrealistic expectations, and my mathematics skills quickly told me, okay, maybe engineering's not going to happen for you. So let's look at some different options. So I definitely always saw myself in a giving profession or, a helping profession, but more on the social side rather than like on the medical side or something like that. But over time, I think that just based on your life experiences, I think that you get placed into certain roles, and that's why I found myself in this role, because I now serve Hayden High School and for Tolleson Union and some Peoria schools, so it's nice that I'm able to help them and give them my advice and from my walk of life, so that way they can understand, like, hey, I did it, with some help, of course, from other people, but hey, you can do it too. You just have to look forward and not just see the small obstacle in front of you, but really what you could become at the end of the 4 years, which is, once you're done with your bachelor's, and how it can truly help your life and change the outcome of what you're going to be doing and help your family in the long run too.
And just kind of in closing here, can you tell us in retrospect, what was the best part of college for you, and what has been the best part post-college for you?
So the best part of college was definitely the flexibility and getting to choose what you want to study, and not being stuck to that, 8 to 5 routine that you are in high school. So it was really nice to have the 4-day weekends and get to socialize with friends and not be stuck in that everyday repeat of what's going on. So I think that was definitely the best part, just the flexibility and getting what you want to learn, and also getting to socialize and make friends and choose friends from different walks of life that you may never have met if you stayed in the neighborhood that you grew up in. So that's really helpful there. And then post-college, I would say getting to find the mix of life, getting to pick a house and where you want to live, getting to choose the neighborhood and the positions that you want to take on later on in life. So that's been really, really nice.
Thank you so much for the interview, Vanessa. And by the way, since 2005, College Success Arizona has worked with nearly 1,300 students just like Vanessa and provided more than $16 million in scholarships and success services to help increase the college attainment rates in our state. If you would like to be part of the mission of providing educational opportunity to high-potential students from low-income circumstances, your tax-deductible contribution can be made through the Donate button located on the College Success Arizona website at collegesuccessarizona.org.